Picture this. You're sitting at your laptop, the Mediterranean breeze gently moving through your hair as turquoise waters stretch endlessly before you. The whitewashed walls of your terrace catch the golden morning light, and somewhere in the distance, church bells echo across the hillside. This isn't a vacation, this is your office now. 6 months ago, you were trapped in fluorescent-lit cubicles, counting down minutes until 5 o'clock freedom. The gray walls seemed to close in a little more each day, and that familiar weight of Sunday anxiety grew heavier with each passing weekend. You knew there had to be something more than this endless cycle of commute, coffee, meetings, repeat. Then everything changed. You landed that remote project management role you'd been dreaming about, packed your life into 2 suitcases, and bought a one-way ticket to the Greek islands. Now you're here, living a reality that once felt impossible. Your mornings begin differently now. Instead of harsh alarms and rushed showers, you wake naturally to the sound of waves lapping against ancient stone harbors. You brew your coffee slowly, savoring the ritual as the sun paints the sky in shades of rose and amber. Your first meeting doesn't start for another hour, but you're already more awake than you ever felt during those corporate years. The work itself hasn't changed much. You're still coordinating teams, managing deadlines, sending endless Slack messages. But something profound has shifted in how you approach it all. When you need to think through a complex project timeline, you walk down cobblestone streets that have witnessed centuries of human stories. When client calls run long, you step onto your balcony and watch fishing boats return with their daily catch. Lunch breaks have become sacred. You close your laptop and wander to the local taverna, where Maria, the owner, now knows your order by heart. Fresh grilled octopus, a simple village salad, and a glass of crisp Acertico wine that tastes like sunshine and sea salt. You eat slowly, watching cats stretch lazily in doorways and elderly men play backgammon under ancient olive trees. The afternoon sun streams through your workspace as you dive back into spreadsheets and strategy sessions. But now, there's context to your productivity. When you finish a challenging project phase, you can walk 5 minutes to a secluded cove where the water is so clear you can see your feet on the sandy bottom. You float on your back, staring up at an impossibly blue sky, feeling the warm embrace of the Aegean. Evenings unfold like poetry. You wrap up your final emails as the sun begins its descent, painting everything in honeyed light. The village comes alive around you. Children playing in narrow alleyways, the scent of grilled fish drifting from waterfront restaurants, the gentle murmur of conversations in languages you're slowly beginning to understand. This is what freedom actually feels like. Not the absence of work, but the presence of choice. The choice to design your days around what matters most to you. The choice to blend productivity with beauty, deadlines with dreams. You discover that productivity flows differently here. Back in those sterile conference rooms, inspiration felt forced, manufactured between coffee breaks and bathroom escapes. Here, your best ideas arrive while watching sunset paint the village in shades of copper and gold. Solutions to complex problems crystallize as you sip ouzo with locals who've never heard of quarterly reports, but understand rhythms older than civilization itself. The Greek concept of time wraps around you like warm summer air. Deadlines still matter, but they no longer consume your soul. You learn to work in harmony with the island's natural pulse, focused intensity during the cooler morning hours, gentle correspondence as heat shimmers off white stone walls, creative brainstorming as evening breezes carry the scent of jasmine through your open windows. Your colleagues back home ask if you miss the office energy, the water cooler conversations, the shared struggle of corporate life. You pause, watching a weathered fisherman mend nets with the same careful attention you once gave to pivot tables. How do you explain that you've found something deeper than office camaraderie? You've discovered a community where the baker remembers your name, where strangers become friends over shared tables, where work is just one thread in a richer tapestry of human connection. Technology connects you seamlessly to clients across continents, but it's the disconnection that transforms everything. No more subway crowds or parking anxiety, no more vending machine lunches or artificial lighting headaches. Your workspace overlooks ancient ruins where philosophers once walked, where empires rose and fell, where countless dreamers before you chose courage over comfort. Some evenings, after closing your laptop, you walk to the harbor and sit among the fishing boats bobbing like gentle prayers on darkening water. You think about your former desk, probably occupied by someone else now, someone counting their own minutes until freedom. You remember that version of yourself, tired, restless, dreaming of escape but never quite believing it was possible. The transformation didn't happen overnight. There were visa applications and tax complications, lonely nights when the romance wore thin and homesickness crept in. But gradually, something shifted. Your shoulders relaxed, your sleep deepened, your work became more creative, more purposeful, infused with the clarity that comes from living authentically. Now you understand what those travel bloggers meant when they wrote about finding yourself in far-off places. It wasn't about losing your identity in exotic locations. It was about stripping away everything that wasn't truly you until only the essential remained. Here, surrounded by endless blue and timeless stone, you finally discovered who you are when nobody's watching, when there's nowhere to hide, when there's only you and the work that truly matters. So here you are, months later, watching another sunset paint the Aegean in impossible colors. Your laptop rests closed beside a half-empty glass of local wine. The day's work complete and satisfying in ways that corporate achievements never were. The transformation from gray cubicle walls to endless blue horizons wasn't just a change of scenery. It was a complete reimagining of what life could be. You've learned that freedom isn't about escaping work, but about choosing work that deserves your passion. It's about mornings that begin with possibility instead of dread, about lunch breaks that nourish your soul as much as your body, about evenings that unfold naturally instead of being rushed toward weekend relief. The person you were 6 months ago feels like a distant memory now. That anxious, clock-watching version of yourself has been replaced by someone who measures success not in performance reviews, but in moments of pure contentment. Someone who has discovered that the best productivity comes not from pressure, but from peace. Your story is just beginning. Tomorrow will bring new projects, new challenges, new opportunities to blend purpose with paradise. But tonight, as fishing boats return to harbor and taverna lights begin to twinkle along the waterfront, you know with absolute certainty that you made the right choice. This isn't just a lifestyle. It's a homecoming to the person you were always meant to be. Find your dream remote job in the links below.